scary story? Okay, listen to this. Once upon a time, there was a girl called Susie. Susie's lived in a farm with her mom. Her dad died, but nobody would tell her why. And then one day, one of her sheep died, and then it kept going on and on and on. So, and then every time one of their sheep's organ would be taken, like for example, their eyes, and then the villagers thought that Susie's mom was behind that, and they thought that she was a witch, so they threw her in a fire, and then they basically threw her in the fire, and then the voice of her screaming kept echoing in Susie's mind, and then she was homeless, alone, and desperate. And then one day, there was a grandpa who walked straight up to her and then asked, "Hey, come to my house," or something, and then he gave Susie a big feast of stuff that Susie never ate before or never ate in a really long time. And then basically and then after that, he told Susie that he was a friend of Susie's father who died, and he told Susie about what really happened to her father. The old man told Susie that Susie's dad was selling sheep to a man, but the man said he wasn't eating the sheep or using the sheep to sell or anything. And then Susie's dad never asked why, because for business reasons, I guess. But one day he asked because he really wanted to know or something, and then he threatened the man who kept buying his sheep that, "If you don't tell me, I won't sell you any more sheep." And then he just walked away saying nothing. But the next time they saw each other, the man who was buying sheep from Susie's father held an axe and tortured and killed him to death, tortured him to death with the axe. And then Susie's mother saw, and she ran away. But the guy who kept selling sheep, that was the guy behind the sheep that kept dying. That was, yeah. And then Susie was like, we have to go, because I'm scared I'm going to get killed or something. And then the old man smiled and grinned. Your father never had any friends. And then Susie realized that the guy that was standing in front of her was the person who killed her father and her mother. She tried to run away, but it was too late. The guy locked Susie into a room to experiment the sheep organs on her. So the man was using the experiment, the sheep organs, to make a person look like a sheep. And then the experiment was nearly done. One day, Susie ran away, and then she went into a river and she saw her reflection. She had the head of a sheep, and then her words spread across the town, and then everyone asked. Everyone sort of knew about the sheep story, and then one day she died because her sheep organs can't take it anymore. I wish you liked that story. Bye, guys.